What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. I have the Pixel 8 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Spoiler alert, both of these devices are stellar, compelling devices to use in 2023 and beyond, even into the next couple years. But I want to compare the two. I want to talk about their differences, what's good about each of them, and ultimately answer the question, which one should you pick up? And also share my opinion of which one I would personally use throughout the remainder of 2023. Let's start off with design. They're both different designs, but when you see each one, you know that one is a Pixel and one is a Samsung device. So for the past couple years, we've been getting very subtle changes through the designs. So when you see his camera visor, you know it's a Pixel. And when you see this boxier look with individual camera rings, you know it's a Samsung Ultra device. So Pixel 8 Pro, it has more rounded corners when compared to its predecessor, and it feels very comfortable to hold in the hand. And there's a matte glass finish on each of the colors of the 8 Pro this year too, which last year it was a glossy finish, and it was a big complaint from myself included. And Google did go ahead and change that up too. Now, the display is one of the greatest parts of the Pixel 8 Pro, and it has a super actual display. Well, Google calls it a peak brightness of 2400 nits, 120 hertz refresh rate display, but it's also the absolute brightest display I've ever used, and I applaud Google. Like 2400 nits of peak brightness. You won't have any issues using this outdoors at all. Now, Galaxy S23 Ultra also has a beautiful display. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but this boxy look feels very good in the hand too, and something I actually kind of prefer a little bit more than the 8 Pro. I don't know, it just, for some reason, this feels a little bit more premium, I guess you can say, even though the 8 Pro is premium too. And even like the matte finish, S23 Ultra's matte feels, I don't know, this one is matte finish, but it kind of slippery or glossy matte. I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to kind of see it in person. They're both great, but just this matte finish feels better. I just don't know how to explain it on video, so I do want to apologize for that. But you kind of have to hold them in the hand to kind of get a feel of what I'm trying to say here. Now, S23 Ultra display. It's great, it's vivid, and it gets plenty bright at 1750. Obviously, it's not 2400 nits of peak brightness, and display is ever so slightly curved, and I hope Samsung does omit it and make a flat display for the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And I'm sure that Samsung will probably decide to put in a brighter display panel. There's also an S Pen on the S23 Ultra if you ever do use it. I use it sometimes when I need to sign documents, but other than that, I don't really look to use it or pull it out that often. But display for both of them is probably the best part of both of these devices. And the wallpaper you see right here is my latest wallpaper pack. It's called Vortex. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below if you do want to check it out. 11 different colors of these Vortex wallpapers. It goes great with your Android device. It goes great with your iPhone. Absolutely love it. I've been using it as my main wallpaper. Let's get into performance with these two devices. So, Pixel 8 Pro, Tensor G3. It's not the most powerful chip when you put it to the test against like other chipsets like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy found in the S23 Ultra or the Apple A17 Pro found in the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. But I don't think it needs to be powerful because the day-to-day performance of this is more than enough. Like, it's been very smooth. Paired with 12 gigs of RAM, Pixel 8 Pro doesn't face any hiccups or bugs or whatsoever, and Android 14 also has been very smooth out of the box. Tensor G3 also works really well with Google's AI features built into the 8 Pro, especially things for like the camera, like Best Take and Magic Editor. But it also has generating AI wallpapers too, which is actually pretty cool. Now, Google's offering 7 years of software updates with this device. So software updates up until 2030, you're getting Android 21. That is a new thing that Google has actually touted during their event. Now, when we come to the S23 Ultra, I'm currently running the One UI 6 beta, which is based on Android 14. And look, it's a beta, but it's been very fluid. And this is one of my favorite OEM skins on an Android device. One UI, before that was TouchWiz. It was very controversial. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people liked it. It was like a love-hate relationship. But One UI is definitely much, much cleaner. Now, this did ship with Android 13, and Samsung is offering 4 years of software updates. So 14, 15, 16, and Android 17. And it's currently getting its first full year of a new software update. Now, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy on this device, on the S23 Ultra. Very powerful. It's been able to tackle everything that I throw at it. So no hiccups, no issues, no bugs whatsoever. And like I said, S23 Ultra, 4 years of software updates. You can't go wrong with that either. Is it 7 years? No, but I suspect Samsung in the near future probably up their software game to like 5 or 6 years to compete with Google. Overall, both performances on this, like whether you pick up the 8 Pro or the S23 Ultra, you can't go wrong. It all kind of just depends on whether you like Pixel UI or whether you like One UI and you want just the extra customization features like the Samsung throws in with One UI. But seriously, they won't let you down regardless of which one you choose, especially in the performance department. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the benchmarks and all that stuff. Is it going to last me on a day-to-day use? And yes is the answer for both of them. That's going to lead me into the cameras, which a lot of smartphone reviews are always about cameras. And look, guys, like I get it. I'm not a big camera guy on a smartphone, on smartphones in general. Like I'll pull out my phone and take a photo and I won't nitpick at it too much. But I can tell you they're both great camera systems. And let's start off with Pixel 8 Pro, 50 megapixel main, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 48 megapixel telephoto lens. And for just taking it out and taking photos, Pixel was always touted to have one of the best point and shoots. That has definitely dwindled down in the past couple of years as improvements were made to its competitors and its rivals like the iPhone and like Samsung's Galaxy S Ultra lineup. But it still won't let you down. When you go ahead and take a photo, you know you're going to love the result. And low light photos, night mode shots on this too, very good. And also there's those extra AI features like Magic Editor, like Best Take. There's Audio Magic Eraser, and I'm going to try those out and give you guys that experience in my full review. But if you want to go ahead and like I watched the video of Marquez, and I just want to quickly point this out too, but everything is like afterthought or like in post with photos. If you want to take a photo and you want to fix Best Take, use Best Take and fix how each person looks in the photo, it's post. If you want to remove some audio, it's post. If you want to do Magic Eraser and just remove something from the background of your photo, that's also post. So there's a lot of post AI features being put into the camera here. Now let's move on to S23 Ultra, 200 megapixels. The quality here is also on point, but you just have to keep in mind that the pictures you're taking with 200 megapixel quality, they should be still because there's kind of a shutter lag when you do use that mode. There's also 8K video recording, and I didn't talk about the video recording on the Pixel 8 Pro, but there's some good improvements here, and it does compete with quality-wise with the iPhone and with the Galaxy S23 Ultra. 8K video recording, 30 FPS. The quality here is pretty good, so if you do want to do some 8K video recording, make content with 8K, you got it here on the S23 Ultra. 100x zoom absolutely comes in super handy. I kind of wish I brought this to me on my trip to Turkey for the 100x zoom, but I didn't. So I'm kind of bummed out about that. But nonetheless, like if you're nitpicking about the camera quality and the camera features, I would say go for the S23 Ultra just because it does have like those pro modes. It has more pro features than the Pixel 8 Pro. But if you're just like, hey, I just want to take a photo and share it on social media or make content from it, Pixel 8 Pro is going to be that choice. And also, do you want zoom? Do you want the 100x zoom? Then yeah, you're going to go with S23 Ultra. But for reliability, maybe Pixel 8 Pro is going to be that one. That's going to lead me into the battery life on both of these devices. And I can tell you right off the bat, hands down, Galaxy S23 Ultra, almost a year after it came out, this came out February of 23, still performs better than the Pixel 8 Pro. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a great phone with great battery, and I believe it has a 5050 milliamp hour battery, but it still won't last as long. Like, I'm getting 7 to 8 hours of screen on time with the S23 Ultra, but 6 to 7 with the Pixel 8 Pro. It has great battery life, and I don't need to worry about charging either one throughout the day. But if I really want to push myself and go into the second day, I can go into the second day with the Galaxy S23 Ultra, Pixel 8 Pro. Just ain't it. Now, charging speeds, 45 watts top on the S23 Ultra and 30 watts on the Pixel 8 Pro. It does take a little bit longer. They both have wireless and reverse wireless charging, but I just feel like Samsung, granted, neither device with charging speeds and all that stuff, they're not the fastest. There are other faster devices with faster charging speeds. Both of you guys gotta put in faster charging speeds. Like, imagine if this had like 60 watts or 70 watts or 80 watts of wire charging, especially on both these devices. That would be insane, and it would kind of help with the battery department in aspect. You have long performing batteries, but you also have quick charging too, if you know what I mean. So please, if you're out there listening, please add some faster charging. Like, 30 watts is not rapid charging, Google. Neither 40 watts is all right, but for an Ultra, I think you can do better. And I'm going to end things off with the price. So price, Pixel 8 Pro is definitely much cheaper, $999. It's a bump from its predecessor, but I think that's okay given the improvements. 12 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs base storage. Next year, please, if you can make that 256, it'd be so much better. I'm at a point where I'm using devices with 512 gigs standard. So with 128, it just feels really weird, and I'm starting to run out of space. And Galaxy S23 Ultra, $1199 for the base model, 8 gigs of RAM. So it's a downsize in RAM, but it has twice the storage, 256 gigs of storage. If you want to go for 12 gigs of RAM, you also up the storage to 512 gigs of storage, but that's priced at $1379. Granted, this always does go on sale, so I've seen this as low as $999 for even $899 for its base model. Do keep that in mind. Now, I wish Samsung had this base model at 12 gigs of RAM rather than 8. I guess that's okay. I hope they improve that with the S24 Ultra. But nonetheless, I'd still probably go with the Pixel 8 Pro because it is cheaper in base price and it still offers many of the things that you can get with the Galaxy S23 Ultra. That's going to bring me to my final thoughts about these two devices. This is a tough call. They've done a tremendous job this year. These are true, like Pixel 8 Pro is a true flagship in my opinion. And so is the S23 Ultra. But honestly, I think the Pixel 8 Pro, especially for me, edges out. It has a gorgeous display, gets super duper bright. It has clean, minimal software with 7 years of software support and an overall great point and shoot camera. You're going to say, oh, well, the Galaxy S23 Ultra also has that. And yes, it does. It does have a gorgeous display, but it doesn't get as bright. It does have clean software, but it doesn't have that 7 years of software updates and software supports, which some people actually would like to have. I know some people who use a OnePlus 3, a 6-year-old device, who used the Galaxy S3 from 2012 when it first came out to 2018. Like, I know people who use their devices for 5, 6, 7 years and they don't get that software support with those older devices, but now they will with things like the 8 Pro. So it doesn't have the 7 years of software support. And it does have a good point and shoot camera, but I don't know. It's maybe it's just preference, but the results in the 8 Pro's camera is just a little bit better. And also price. Price determines a lot of things for a lot of consumers. And when you see a $999 price tag versus a $1,200 price tag, you're probably going to go for the $999 and get some accessories, get some charging cables, get a pair of earbuds, all for the price of just a device. So I'm going to probably choose the Pixel 8 Pro over the S23 Ultra. But yeah, that about wraps up this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to superman the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot and will help push my content out to more people. And definitely be sure to check out my latest wallpaper pack, Vortex. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below. Now, that's been it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.